Hey, and welcome back to all the Amiga fans out there. This is Jack from Austin, Texas, coming at you again with another WinUAE 4.0.1 tutorial. And this tutorial, we're going to do a little something different. We're going to set up and install Amiga OS 3.14 by Hyperion. A few months back, Hyperion dropped a update to a new operating system for the classic hardware Amiga system that's not PPC driven. That means it installs on any 68K Amiga you have. So we're gonna set that up for anybody that's wanting to give it a try. By all means, please go out there and support the community and purchase this operating system before it is taken away from us. Right now, there is a litigation things that are going on, and if you haven't got a copy of it, please go out there and get it now. It comes with it's a little package that you download. It's a digital download, and you'll have all of the ADF files and some ROMs in there, some ROMs you can burn and create your own EPROMs, and then there's also soft ROM in there for your particular model. Make sure you download for your particular model, and please buy it. It's great. It does just fine. I have it installed on some original hardware and some not. But please go out there and buy it. And we're going to set up a machine under WinUAE, a 1200, a base setup, and we're going to install this from scratch. If you have not downloaded and installed WinUAE, I advise you do. If you want to know all about WinUAE, watch my part 1 installing Amiga OS under WinUAE. I run down all of the things about WinUAE and creating a system with it. Also, I would like to ask all the subscribers out there to please check out my other channel, Pints and Amiga, that me and my son created. It is classic Amiga gaming on original hardware that we upscale to a 65-inch big screen TV while we sit around and have a few liquid beverages and enjoy the evening until we can't anymore of gaming. And we live stream that. So we do not have a set time on it yet of when we're going to do it on a regular schedule. So you'll just have to catch them as they're being advertised. If you're a subscriber and you happen to be on YouTube at the time, you'll be notified of that. So let's just jump right on in and let's go into WinUAE and let's make us a 1200 system. So the first thing I want you to do, if you're familiar with WinUAE, I want you to go to Quick Start. Make sure the start and quick mode is off if you're a new user. And let's just do a 1200. We're going to do a 1200. Basic, no expanded configuration, nothing crazy. Okay. And we want to set that configuration. Okay. Now we want to go over to configurations and we want to save as. Click on save as. And let's go A1200 OS 3.1.4. Let's give it a name. Give it whatever name, whatever you want to. Okay. Now I want you to click on that we just created and load it. Okay. So it loads up right here in the top hand corner. If you remember from my previous videos, if it's not loaded up here in the top left hand corner, no telling what system you're going to load in. If you have multiple systems, you might load up a basic stock A500 and freak out thinking that what happened to your 1200 build or your 4000 build or whatever. Okay, let's go over to CPU and let's leave it at a 68020. Okay, We're going to click on fast as possible, uncheck 24-bit addressing, and I want to click on just in time emulation, FPU, nah, it'll be fine. Make the cache 16 megabytes. It might be defaulted at whatever, and make sure that's full all the way. Let's check mark indirect FPU support, sure, all of that good stuff. Let's go to chipset, AGA, chipset extras, A1200. Everything else should be left just the way it is. Advanced chipset compatibility settings, leave that right there where it's at. ROM. Now, this is where you're going to go to the unarchived or unzipped folder or zip file that you purchased from Hyperion or wherever you acquired it at through digital download, and you will, wherever you want to put that at, you extract that wherever you would like to keep it at. I keep my stuff on drive I call Banana Man. So I'm going to go to my extra hard drive that I keep all of my stuff in, mainly all of my Amiga stuff, and I am going to click on the folder that it created, OS 314 A1200. You have to download the version that fits your machine that you want to create in WinUAE or original hardware. So if you have original 4000, you need to download the 4000 version. Original 3000, you need to download the 3000 version, because all of the ROMs and the soft ROMs are different. Now the ADF files or the floppies are all the same, but you need to download the copy accordance to your machine. So I'm going to point it to this 1200 that I created, and I'm going to go to the ROMs, and it will have, this is what Hyperion created. Emulation or map ROM or to burn. Okay, emulation, kick A1200. This is the new kickstart file. This is new. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to add that in there. Now we need to go to RAM. Chip 2. Let's do some fast RAM. Nothing crazy. 64 do it. Yeah. Let's go 32. That'll work. Nah. 16. We'll be fine with 16. Floppy drive. Make a floppy drive. Let's put it on turbo mode. Okay. And I want you to go back up to... there it is, wrong. I forgot to check mark one thing. Go to the board types for advanced UAE expansion boards, and I want you to click on new UAE 128 ROM indirect. Okay? Highlight that. Alright, then we're going to go back down here to RTG boards. And we want to use the WinUAE Zorro 3 built-in software graphics card. So, you know, our desktop is in a nice resolution. It's 16 million colors. I'm not going to do anything crazy. 64 megs would be fine. Let's go to display. I'm going to go to full screen. I like full screen. I don't like seeing in a little window in my Windows stuff. Plus, I'm running at 1280 by 720 for you, so you can see everything that's going on, and you're not having to squint at a 1080, 1920 by 1080, 1080p screen. So I keep it fairly large size. So with all of that, you got the display. Just kind of go through just a little bit and make sure that everything's still where you check marked it at. We don't need to mess with any. Oh yeah, buffer mode. go to buffer mode and put it on triple buffer. Okay. Want to go to miscellaneous. Go to miscellaneous. And I want to use Control F11 to quit. Okay. Make sure faster RTG is on. Let's see. There's one more thing that I like to check mark in here. 1 second reboot pause. I like to have that on. That gives a chance for the emulation to kind of clear out all of its memory and its cache and everything, so your emulation doesn't sometimes hang in between reboots. It's been known to do that. So we need to go all the way back to configuration, highlight that A1200 OS 3.1 setup that we created, and I want you to hit save. Just save it. And then I want you to load it. Yes, we've already loaded it. Why do we do that? It's so everything that we just created, we just did. Not only did we just save it, we loaded all of those settings back in there. So when we launch, everything is the way we set it up. Main thing is to make sure that that kick ROM for that new ROM is in there. RAM, got some RAM going. Floppy disk is on turbo. We're going to need those here in a minute. Alright, let's do just a little quick start, see how it's looking, make sure we got the kickstart screen going. Might take it a second or two. There we go. If you've got that screen, we're on the right path. Now, it's ready for some floppy disks, some ADF files, but we don't want to do that just yet. We're going to create a hard drive. So let's, on your keyboard, hit Control F11. This will dump you out of it and quit you out of the emulation. Now, I want you to go back into your WinUAE. Trust me. Highlight the A1200 OS 3.1.4 or whatever you named it. Hit load. Okay, make sure it's up here in the left-hand corner. Now I want you to go down to CD and hard drives. We need to make some changes. We want to add PC drives on startup. Check mark that, include removal drives, so if you have any SD card readers or anything like that. Include network drives if you have anything mapped on network drive. And later on, if you want to CDFS auto mount with inside of UAE, that automatically mounts a CD drive. Okay, go up to configurations and hit save. Go up to configurations, hit load. I know it sounds redundant, but you'll thank me later, because the moment you do a check mark and you forget to save it, and then you work right off of that with it uncheck marked or just saved, when you go to execute, what you created didn't. You got to load it back into WinUAE. It's tricky like that. So we're going to create a hard drive. Now, we're going to create a hard file. All right? Let's go up here and create a hard file. Click on hard file. And I want you to new hard disk image file. Let's create one right here. Nothing crazy. Let's make a 2 gigger. So type in 2000. That's 2000 megabytes. It's 2 gigs. Okay. WinUAE HEAF device. I'm going to go to create. And you can put it anywhere you want. You can set it anywhere you want. Let's do the, let's call it, I'm going to put it on my desktop. Let's do A1200 2 gigabyte WB314. Okay. We're going to save it. Do a full rigid disk block mode. Okay. Make sure it says bootable. Don't worry about device just yet. Worry about that later. Make sure that that's up there. If you look on your desktop, it should be. Mine's not quite in view, but it's right there. Okay. So let's hit OK. And then I want you to, it's right here, and it says 2 gigabytes, block size 512, that's fine. UAE, that's fine. Double click on it. We need to make sure this pops up here. If it's gobbledygook or if it's not right, it's not right. You didn't create it right. See, device name, I said don't worry about that. It automatically does a DH0. So we're good. Okay. Double check. I have it sitting on my desktop. It should be right around in here somewhere. It should be around in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's right there. There it is. There's the hard disk file right there. You can put that anywhere. Now, if you put it on your desktop, like I showed you, and you move it, WinUAE, and you go to boot off, you go to load it in WinUAE, well, WinUAE can't find it because you moved it, you know, to clear up your desktop or whatever. So if you want to go ahead now and put it in a place or create it in a place that you can always go to these hard disk files, and I'm just doing it on the desktop for demonstration purposes. So here we go. We've got our hard drive ready to go. Let's go back to configurations, highlight that A1200 OS 3.1 or whatever you named it, and hit save. Then we're going to hit load. And we're going to make sure that our hard drive is still in there. Now, we need to go to our floppy drive. And we need to find the ADF files from that directory, from that archive that you downloaded from Digital Distribution of Hyperion or however you acquired it. We need to go to that. So I go back to that folder, that OS 314 A1200, and I find the install. And I hit start. And you give it just a few seconds. Now you won't see the Kickstart logo going because we're already loading off of floppy. So bam, there you go. Up here it should say copyright 2018 Hyperion Hyperion Entertainment, all rights reserved. And you should be good to go. So the next thing we need to do is we need to install Amiga OS 3.14. We're going to go to the install, got to go to the hard drive toolbox. Now, before you go any further, I'm going to halt you right there. You can do one of two things. You can write, if you only are using emulation, or if you're using ADF files that you plan on using on one of your other original hardware devices, I suggest you look at the information on the hard drive toolbox, and it says SCSI device. We do not need WinUAE changing that for us. Okay? We can double click on this and it will show us nothing. We need to take this and drag a copy of this over to RAM. We don't want it to overwrite our original disk. So we're going to run the hard drive toolbox and the setup out of RAM, just like I showed you. Take this, move it over to RAM. Then go to your RAM, and let's change the information on it. And we need to make this the WinUAE hard file driver. So it's UAE HF. That's the driver that WinUAE understands and to make the Amiga operating system recognize your hard drive. We're going to save that and double click on that. And there we go. We've got a couple of unknowns. And we're going to change drive type. It should be 0. Yeah, there it is. A1200. See, there it is. A1200. 2 gigabyte WB3114. UAE. That's manufactured. 2 gigs. That's what we created. Okay. The other one was your CD-ROM drive, your Presidio CD-ROM drive that you created. I mean, that you checked on, the CDF drive. CDFS drive. Now hit OK. Alrighty. We want to partition this drive. We've got one partition there, one partition there. Let's just make 2 partitions. Okay? So let's go to Advanced Options, Direct SCSI Transfer, change this to DH0. Oops. Yeah, I can't type. 0. Save changes to drive. Partition to drive. See, that one's DH0. This one we're going to change to DH1. Direct SCSI transfer. Hit the change. Cancel out of there for just a second. DH0, DH1. Let's see, that's DH0. It's DH1. Make sure it's bootable. Make sure it says bootable. And there's DH1. Hit OK. Save changes to drive. Yes, it will change it. That's fine. Partition drives again. Now, we need to go up here and do some changes. Long names. You can change your file system if you want, if you have a custom file system. I stay standard. Hit OK. Same thing over here. Change it. Long file name. Fast file system, that's fine. Hit OK. Save changes to drives. Yep, on operation will destroy the data in the following partitions. Yes. Yes. Exit. A reboot is required to make your changes take effect. Select continue to reboot. Select cancel to go back to the program. We want to reboot. Give it just a second or two for the reboot. And bam, there we go. Now, you now have 2 uninitialized disks that will pop up here, DH1 and DH0. DH0, DH1. I did that in reverse. So we need to format this. Okay, so right click, icon, format. Let's call this Workbench. No trash can needed. Long file names, fine. Quick format. Format it. Format it. There we go. There is Workbench. And let's call this one Work. Everybody loves to name a work drive in Amiga. No trash can. Quick format. 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 And there we go. Our Workbench has been set up, all good to go. Now, one more reboot. We got our new hard drives going on. One more reboot. And we still have that mounted install 314. There we go. Now, time to install it. Let's go to Install, English. Yep, lets you install Release 314 Amiga operating system on a hard drive. Used to upgrade older releases to install from scratch or control which languages are available on your hard drive. Let's go. Install it. Yeah, novice install, that's fine. English, I'm using English. Whatever language you are, please select your language. Please insert the Amiga Workbench Disk version 314 into any floppy drive. Right here, I want you to press F12. And you will get back to this. Select the little three dots. Select the Workbench ADF. Hit OK. Your screen will come back and it will automatically take off and go. So now we're installing to Workbench directory all of the locals, local, F12 again. Select locales, locale. Hit OK. And it'll take off and go. Extras, do the same thing. Okay, fonts. Storage. And install disk. Installation and release of 3.1 is now complete. To enable release 3.14, you must reboot your Amiga, remove the installed disk from the floppy drive, and select Proceed Gadget to reboot your Amiga. And we will F12. And we'll inject it out of there. We'll hit OK. And it's rebooting. Now, we should boot right into our 3.14 Workbench. And there we go. We have our 3.14 Workbench right there. It looks real 3.1-ish, old school. That's perfectly fine. It does not have a lot of bells and whistles, but under the hood, it is awesome. So, there you have it. There's your basic install. Now, if you want to, you can go into your Workbench and you can go into your prefs and you can change some things like your screen modes, and you can change your colors, and we're going to save 256, all of that good stuff. Quality, good, best. You can go to Workbench preferences You can increase your, your quality however you want it. Best quality is good. I like using that. Now, what we're going to do now is see how the icons kind of straightened up. Let's get rid of their borders. Let's see, is there WB patterns? No, it's not in there. Border size, large, no borders. No borders. I hate borders. Look at that. Now you have a stock Workbench 314. Now let's go a step further. Remember I told you about mounting your PC drives? Well, this is my extra drive, Banana Man. I'm going to go inside of him, and I am going to go to my Amiga downloads, and I'm going to look for my Picasso stuff. And I'm going to set up Picasso 96. Give me just a minute here. There's my Picasso, but it's in an archive. Because right now you have no LHA going on here. So I would prefer to have one already unarchived. But that's okay. There's a couple of things you're going to need for your Amiga 314 install. For one, you're going to need the installer program, which I have that. We're going to find that right quick. And where do I have my... There we go. It'll be in here somewhere. So yeah, there's my Picasso 96. And if I click on it now, I guarantee it's going to say unable to open installer. You can get the installer from AmiNet. It's pretty easy to get. Or if you already have it somewhere else on your system, you can easily get it. Let's see if I got it. Maybe I've got it here in Amiga applications. Do a little quick cleanup on this. See, there's another Picasso 96 install there too. It's new installer. This is the one we're looking for. Look for this on AmiNet. Installer 433. If you already know, you're already familiar with it, get this program. Download it, open it up. All we need is that file right there. And you need to put it in, should be going to utilities. And let's try it. Let's try it again. If it's not in utilities, it might be. I didn't pay attention to it when it asked. Yeah, that's where it went, is utilities. So stick it in utilities. These no click to front, no click to front yet. Yep, first install. Yep, intermediate. Yep. Install, yes, proceed. I don't want to read the manual now. Alright. When you install in Picasso 96 and you're doing WinUAE, you need to select UAE graphics. Hit proceed. System libs, yes. Install it in the devs, yes. Prefs, yes. Picasso 96 settings, yes. No. Select another drive. Now you can put it in your work if you want to. I like to have it on my, actually in my workbench, on the root of my workbench. That's where I like it. Yes. And printer patches, sure. All of these choices are correct? Yes, sure. Install. Go for it. Proceed. And version 2 install. Proceed with copy. There's none in there already. Just keep hitting proceed. Keep hitting proceed. And tool types for UA graphics monitor drive. Yes, proceed. Yeah, proceed with the copy. Keep hitting proceed. And there we go. It should be done. And we're done. Okay. Now, we need to close out all of these windows. And we need to reboot. Control Amiga, or on your Windows keyboard, Control Windows key, Windows key. If you don't have two Windows keys, sucks to be you. Alright, here we go. Let's get rid of this ugly backdrop. Okay, let's clean up some of these icons. Get them all looking good and everything. Now, go into Workbench and go to Prefs, and you should have Screen Modes. And when you click on this, you're going to have all of your UAE screen modes. So go to the one that fits your screen. Mine is going to be 1280 by 720. And select 16.7 million colors. We're going to just save it because I know it'll work. And there we go. And it is all done. You can go to Overscan and make sure that your Overscan is set right. And save it. And you're all good. There you have it. 3.14 set up on WinUAE 4.01 and installed Picasso 96. The rest is up to you. If you like stuff like magic menus, and there is the glow icon set in the storage disk of the 3.14, where you can change all of your icons to glow icons. I like to go with another package myself, or if you prefer like new icons or something like that, you can install those. I just prefer, you know, different sets of icons. But there you have it. Thanks once again. This is Jack from Austin, Texas. Please like and subscribe. This is WinUAE 4.01 Amiga OS 3.14. And don't forget to check out Pints and Amiga channel also. Like and subscribe that also. I will put any links in the description for anything you need for this installation. Chat with you later.